Hi, my name's Satsu5, and way before I got really interested in knives, way before I really got interested in knives, probably the most I've ever spent on a knife was like $15 to $20, and they sold me well. I was pretty happy with these cheap knives, and that was until one day I went to school, and a classmate saw that I was looking at a knife catalog, and he asked me if I ever heard of Cold Steel, and I said, well, no, I haven't heard of them. He told me to check them out, so I did. I ordered a catalog, and that's when I first received this Cold Steel solid proof DVD, and I was dumbfounded. It just blew me away. Let me remind you, up until then, I've never spent more than $20 on a knife, and these were hardware store knives, cheap China-made knives. Had no steel labeling on them, no brand name, just kind of cheap knives with plastic handles. And I've never before seen a knife cut manila rope, free-hanging manila rope. I've never seen a knife chop through 2x4s. I've never seen a folding knife hold weights off of its handle. I've never seen a knife stab through a car hood. And I was just amazed. So after watching this about 5 or 6 times, looking at my catalog as I was watching the DVD, I finally decided what my first knife from Cold Steel should be. And it is the Cold Steel lite. This is a throwback to the 1950s style stiletto. By the way, stiletto is a Latin word, or comes from the Latin word stylus, which means pointed instrument. But this was my first Cold Steel knife. I've got it for several reasons. First of all, I can afford it, and this is the first waved knife I've ever seen. I never heard of Emerson before, so this was my first waved knife I've ever seen. And 2, it looked like a switchblade, and but it's completely legal. It comes out extremely fast, but it has a single edge, and it's a manual knife. It walks off of the thumb stud. You can see with minimum movement from my hand, I can flick this knife open, but it's completely manual. It is just as fast, if not faster, than a switchblade, but 100 times safer than a switchblade to carry. You don't have to worry about it going off in your pocket. You don't have to worry about safeties or anything. It's a manual knife, and this is an extremely well made knife. The blade is Osate steel. The blade length is 4 inches. The overall length is 8.8 3/4 inches. The blade thickness, not where the false edge is, but right here on the spine, is 3 millimeters. And the weight of the knife is 3.5 ounces. And I believe back when this DVD was out, the solid proof DVD, this knife held 80 pounds on its lock without failing. That's pretty cool. Up until then, my cheap knives that I carried, they would fail with my thumb pressing on them, because they had cheap lino locks. This is a well-made lino lock. It's extremely strong. They stabbed through car hoods with it, and they spine whacked it. Never failed. I was very excited about this knife when I first got it. I still am excited about this knife. I still love this knife. It's a good carry knife, except for a few downsides. One, since it does have this waved feature, it's pretty much a quillion with some very sharp jimping on it. It'll rip up your pants pocket. If you're on it'll rip up any pants pocket, jeans or slacks. So I wouldn't recommend carrying this knife if you're wearing really nice clothes like a suit and tie. It'll rip right through those like butter. If you have an old pair of faded jeans or shorts, work clothes, I feel comfortable wearing it with them. But other than that, I wouldn't wear nice clothes with this short. Even though it is a fairly nice looking knife, I'd have no problem carrying this knife with me, at church or at a fancy gathering, because it just, to me, it looks nice. Even though it's a Zytel handle, to me it's just a nice looking blade. And it's a very functioning blade too. You can almost use this tip as an X-Acto knife. And I've used it to do anything from opening boxes, opening letters, to cutting rope. It's a very universal knife. Okay, I did talk about the wave feature. It does have this wave feature. How that works is it snags on your pants pocket, and then it's hard for me to do it in the camera. It snags on your pants pocket and it opens the knife up, and you can use this as a walrus stick or Kubotan. You can hit with the pommel, or if you want to cause a little bit more damage, you can hit with this exposed quillion. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to use a knife, use a knife. Pretty much when the time comes that you pull out a knife for a self-defense situation, less lethal flew out the window. You're not concerned with it. But it is an option. It's good to have options. This knife, the MSRP of this knife is $54.99. You're not really expected to pay that much. This is a pretty affordable knife, probably 40 something on the internet. It has Torx bits. If you need to take the I can't talk today, the pocket clip. If you need to take the pocket clip off, or if you want to take the scales off and clean it. I've never had the need to do that. Usually just every now and then oil up the blade, maybe get a Q-tip and put them in these little holes to wipe them down, but I never will take apart a knife, because usually it's a lot easier to take apart a knife than it is to put a knife back together. So I don't normally recommend doing that, but it is possible. And that's it. That's the Cold Steel Lite. I hope you enjoyed this review. My name's Asatsu5, and I'm out.